Real E-Leezy, man. What's happening with you sucker ass niggas about here, man? Fuck all you niggas. I'm in a midlife crisis, nigga. The motherfucking Warriors playing like shit. I'm fucking with y'all, man. How my people doing about there, man? I'm looking at these two games tonight, the last two games of the night. Warriors, Knicks, Bucks, Suns. And I just be paying attention to how teams play, right? So I'm flipping back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? And I'm watching the Warriors, right? Boom, okay. And they struggling with the Knicks. But then some tells me that the Knicks aren't as bad as their record indicates and as people making them seem. Like for real, for real. The Knicks have a good team. They need to get their rotations in order. See, you can't just be juggling and playing a bunch of guys because guys not gonna really be able to put their imprint on the game because some guys might think that they deserve more minutes than they actually do. You have to have a set rotation, right? Okay. So that's for the Knicks. Then I'm looking at the Warriors and I'm like, okay. The, the Warriors don't really have any paint protection. And their guards can't really stop penetration like that. Like, you feel me? They're really missing. They need Iguodala and Draymond because with their basketball IQ and experience, they know how to play guards to where they shade them to go, you know what I'm saying, one direction to the help. Other guards really don't know how to shade and make a player go into the help. Like, you feel me? And then the Warriors, they get too three happy at times. Steph had 35, yeah, but it was inefficient 35. The Warriors shot more than 50% of their shots, their attempts were from three. That's too many threes for them. They have way too many good slashers and good ball handlers and an offensive system to just be jacking up threes. And we know that the Knicks, they don't really have a low, inside defensive presence outside of Mitchell Robinson, right? But you can bring Mitchell Robinson out and put him in nothing but pick and roll action and get him away from the basket. See, it's easy for a big man to defend when they're just sitting stationary and they only have to take 2 steps left, 2 steps right, or 2 steps up. You know what I'm saying? To defend the paint or defend the rim. But when you get them having to rotate, see, big guys have slower feet. So you shouldn't bail the big guys out. Put them in pick and roll action. See, that's the game we live in. See, Stockton and Malone made a living. Utah Jazz made a living on pick and rolls. A living. Period. You had the pick and pop or the pick and roll. Pick and pop, pick and flare, pick and roll. You feel what I'm saying? And the Warriors, they get 2-3 happy. And that's I have to blame Steve Kerr. And this is why I feel like he just inherited a good team of high IQ players. Like Steve Kerr, it's nothing about Steve Kerr, what he does and how he coaches that really strike me for him to be one of the top coaches in NBA history. He's just a beneficiary, bro. Steve Kerr does not know what he be doing. His rotations be off and his coaching shit be off. Now, if you put let's just take Frank Vogel off the Lakers. You switch Steve Kerr for Frank Vogel for Steve Kerr. Are the Warriors still number 2 in the West? And are the Lakers in the play-in? In my opinion, I think the Warriors are the same team. You feel me? Because all basketball is motion. Like you get what I'm saying? Ball movement, body movement. So it's not, they don't do anything special. They just space the floor and they run a ton of action. You know what I'm saying? Handoffs, back screens, backdoor cuts. You know what I'm saying? Pick and roll. And then you got players that can create off the dribble. Right? Okay, that's that. Like, you know what I'm saying? The Warriors can, they don't, when they playing these mediocre teams and they're struggling to beat the Minnesotas and the New York Knicks and the New Orleans Pelicans, even though that they have bodies in and out, but it's a culture. See, if you're a good coach and a good system, the culture will tell you, it will allow you to play the same way even when your key guys go out. It's the next man up mentality because you're building a culture. And I think that with the Warriors, sometimes they just play down to the level of competition. You can't cruise through the season and say, you know what, okay, we about to win it. You have to understand that you have young guys who you're counting on, guys who never been there before. Jordan Poole, all the role players, Damian Lee and E-Leezy, and even though E-Leezy has been in the league for a while, but he never played in any meaningful games. Like, you know what I'm saying? Andrew Wiggins, you feel me? Never played in meaningful games, even though he made the playoffs that one year with Minnesota when they had Jimmy Buckets and D Rose. But he really was ineffective in that series. So I can't really gauge the Warriors. Like, sometimes the numbers and the records, it's a little misleading because when you watch how teams play, especially against teams you know that they should beat and beat convincingly, they struggle with. And I'm trying to figure out. I understand that it's betting in Vegas and the mob and all that is involved and point spreads and stuff like that. But now we transfer over to the Bucks and the Suns. The Suns are the best team in the NBA, hands down. Hands down. It's not even close. I don't think nobody else is close to the Suns. When I watch the Suns play, they don't play around with people. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know it's the NBA and teams are going to be competitive. You know what I'm saying? And any given night you can lose. But the Suns, they beat people bad. They're physical. They have a lot of size. They have smart, high IQ players. You know what I'm saying? And then, them motherfuckers, when I watch them play basketball, they execute like a motherfucker. The way that they beat the Bucks tonight, and mind you, the Bucks didn't play their best game. You know what I'm saying? I think the trade of Dante DiVincenzo and just the whole trading deadline and them being on the road, I thought that maybe this probably was the game that was going to catch up to them. With them, you know what I'm saying, being on the long road trip and winning a couple games and traveling from city to city. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes those lengthy road trips, you're gonna have some down some down games, some slippages. You know what I'm saying? During the course of a road trip and the season for that matter. But when I watch the Phoenix Suns run their offense, it's a thing of beauty. They are very precise with everything they do. And shout out to Monty Williams and the coaching staff and the organization, James Jones, and everybody over there because they're on a mission. They went to the finals last year. They didn't get it done. That left a sour taste in their mouth. So now they're coming back with a vengeance. They say, you know what? We know what it feels like to get there. You know what I'm saying? We didn't get it done. We're coming back next season and we chopping niggas' heads off. And that's what they've been doing all season. All season. You know what I'm saying? They do everything with precision. Their passes, their shots. They take great shots. They rarely force any bad shots. All their cuts and slashes are, you know what I'm saying, precise. They find and hit the open man when he's cutting, you know what I'm saying, especially on like backdoor and pick and roll. You know what I'm saying? Picking pop lobs to the rim. You know what I'm saying? And everybody fits into a certain role. There are substitutions. Everybody knows how many minutes they're going to get. Everybody knows the important role that they need to play coming off that bench. They're going to provide energy. They're going to execute, and they're going to play hard. You can't say that for a lot of teams, man. Real talk. Like when your whole team is a well-oiled machine, that shit, that's what beautiful, you know what I'm saying, and winning basketball looks like. When you have the chemistry and the camaraderie and the cohesion offensively and defensively, that's what's going to win you a championship. So I think that the Suns are going to be there in the end. Period, point blank. There's not a question of a doubt when it comes to the Phoenix Suns. When I watch them play and how detailed they are, and Chris Paul is a great leader, a great point guard. Sometimes I don't like his antics on the court, the little flopping around and, you know what I'm saying, acting all like a little brat sometimes, though, but you got to live with that. You feel me? I just wish they would allowed his ass to pair up with Kobe so we can, you know what I'm saying, dead this motherfucking greatest player in the world talk. But that didn't happen for whatever reason. We already know why, but it's all good. But yeah, and then Milwaukee is very set in their ways. They know who they are. You know what I'm saying? And it's all good over there. Milwaukee gonna be there in the end. You know what I'm saying? They slipped up tonight. They had a bad game. But I noticed the interaction between Mike Budenholzer and Giannis Antetokounmpo, and it really wasn't pleasant to me. It seemed like Budenholzer was real frustrated with Giannis and the way he was playing. You know what I'm saying? And he was getting red while he was talking to him, and Giannis was just sitting there looking kind of frustrated or whatever. And that really said something to me because the game that Giannis had, he had a bad game tonight. Even though he got his numbers, he didn't play well. And you can attribute that to the Suns' defense. They showed them bodies. It was physical with him. They made him take shots that he's not really comfortable with taking. You know what I'm saying? See, Giannis don't want to have to rely on the jump shot. Even though he has improved as a jump shooter and a free throw shooter, that's not his primary shot selection. He wants to get downhill and get to the basket. That gets him going and gets his rhythm so he can feel comfortable with taking outside shots. He's just not going to come to you, get to a spot, and then pull up on you. You know what I'm saying? He has to be in a nice rhythm, and they took him out of that rhythm by being physical with him, showing him a lot of different bodies. You know what I'm saying? And crowding him, forcing him to sort of play, you know what I'm saying, like a KD. And we know that Giannis is not KD. You know what I'm saying? And that makes him uncomfortable. So sometimes you have to understand when teams are taking something away from you, you have to take what they give you. Like, you get what I'm saying? If they're not going to give you the lane to drive, you have to be comfortable with pulling up for jumpers, floaters, you know what I'm saying, and things of that nature. And Giannis feels you can get him routed and out of his game when you're just being super physical. Because you know why? Nobody likes physicality. Nobody. Even LeBron, and as big and strong as he appear to be, you know what I'm saying? Nobody likes physicality. You know what I'm saying? Nobody likes to get beat up. And they're allowing players to get touched, grabbed, and beat up a little bit. And it's frustrating a lot of players, and it's really making some players look mediocre and average as opposed to superstar. Like, you get what I'm saying? So I just wanted to make that assessment on what I think. But just by watching these games, I know these are just 2 games out of a long season. But when you really break the game down and pay attention to the small details, that can tell you everything that you need to know moving forward. Because you develop certain habits. And when you develop those habits, there's certain things that tell me, there are certain things that tell me that this is who you are. You get what I'm saying? This is who you are. And these habits aren't good habits. Like the sloppy passes, the turnovers, the bad shot selection, you know what I'm saying? Being a little lackadaisical on defensive rotations. Those are all bad habits. And if you know anything about a habit, it's just something that you do, even though you might not want to do it, but you just do it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's familiar, it's comfortable. You feel me? And it's really challenging to break habits. How many times you done seen motherfuckers who have a drinking habit or a smoking problem? You know what I'm saying? Or a motherfucker who, a female or somebody who like to suck their thumb. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who, you know, like to bite on their fingernails, etc. Those are habits, and it's hard to break habits. So when these teams come out and they practice certain habits, kind of like what Frank Vogel alluded to in the post-game presser after the Portland game, he was talking about habits. You know what I'm saying? When you keep practicing those habits, you get set in them and you get comfortable in them, whether they're good habits or bad habits. But what you don't want to do, you don't want to get set in the bad habits. You know what I'm saying? Because that's going to determine a lot of wins and a lot of losses. And it's going to determine really the fate, you know what I'm saying, of your goals and what you set out for. But if you practice in good habits every night, and then your team just doesn't win, but you practicing those same good habits, you can live with those results. But when you lose to a team you probably shouldn't lose to, and you've displayed nothing but bad habits, that shit can have a deterring, you know what I'm saying, debilitating, you know what I'm saying, um, type of energy. Like, you feel me? And it can disrupt your morale. It can, you know, lower your confidence. You know what I'm saying? So Warriors, they need to get back to establishing good habits. And I'm talking about from the first man on the bench to the last one on the bench. Like, develop good habits. Don't try to do too much. Don't try to be a superstar. And this is for most teams. Play within yourself. Play within your skill set, whatever that looks like. You know what I'm saying? And apply that to a structured style of basketball, period, point blank. And then you'll get good results from that. You feel what I'm saying? So, just a little assessment, you know what I'm saying? You have to pay attention to the details of the game, man. We come on here and we talk all this shit, you know what I'm saying, about shit, but when you break down, when you learn how to break this shit down, bro, then that's when your basketball acumen really shows. You know what I'm saying? Period, point blank. So, you know what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? Like, share, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Drop a comment. Fuck with your boy, man. You know what I'm saying? Drop your YouTube channel, or whatever platform you're on. You know what I'm saying? Drop your handles, and you know what I'm saying? Come show love and support, man. I appreciate y'all for everything y'all do out there, man. Thank you to all my supporters. Thank you to all my haters. You feel me? And always, man, love, live life, smile, cry, laugh, man. You feel me? And we gonna keep rocking, man. Salute. Salute.